This is Drug News on Volume, SiriusXM 106.
All right, we're back from Southern California, live across America.
The Chuck is here.
Yes. Talking.
What are you doing here, man?
Look at this, Jersey in the house. I just said a little while ago, Max Weinberg's. That's when you really feel old, when guys like, guys'
Stop
kids.
now.
No, guys' kids are coming in to do interviews with you. Max's son was just here and all that, and it's like, oh man, what the hell's going on here? But
I feel younger than ever.
You look younger than ever. What's going on with you,
brother?
Sambora?
Great.
What the hell?
It's
Orianthi.
That's what this is. That everybody needs an Orianthi to
Everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know, brother.
Can we clone you, Ori? Is there some way that we can do
No,
that?
I won't let it happen. No, you know what? It's almost like a racehorse. I'd have to
That'd be a scary thing, I think.
We'd have to do something like that.
Well, let's make the proper introductions, of course. Ladies first, of course. Orianthi, good
How
to
are
see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
And Mr. Sambora, a long time coming.
Hello.
Man. I wanted to do this for a long time with you. Unfortunately, we don't have the time I want. I want to go through your whole career.
You know what? We can take all the time you want. There's no
my
problem.
show's over in 40 minutes.
No, we couldn't get through it.
It's not up to me. They're going to cut it off.
Well, yeah. Well, if I wrote a book, it would be the best time I never had.
Do you have a book in you? You want to write one?
I do, but I don't know what exactly it's going to entail, really.
Have you started writing one?
I have a little bit, but I don't want it to be the cliche kind of thing, like who, banged who, or, what went down as far as all that, the rock and roll style. It's just like a kid coming out of New Jersey, and look what happened. Because we're sincere about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
And that's really how it come out. If you're sincere about being a songwriter and a performer and an entertainer and going out and making people happy, that's what it's all about. Really.
Well, before we talk about a little bit about the past with both of you guys, let's talk about the here and now, the present, because you're performing together at NAMM, right? Today? Is it today?
6 p.m. tonight.
6 p.m.
We've been a band for at least 3 hours.
True. We actually rehearsed
Chuck, I'll tell you. Listen, we just got done last night really, really late. We actually just finished our new album.
Yeah, we finished mixing.
RSO.
RSO album.
RSO, I think we're going to call it, you don't know who we are either. So anyway, no, it's actually...
Did Bob Rock produce it?
Bob Rock. My Lord, man.
Yeah, he's
amazing. Better than...
Did you do it in Canada?
No, we did it in our kitchen. That's the funny...
Well, we did some in Canada, but predominantly most of the stuff was at the kitchen table.
We did, you know what? We did some in Capitol Studios.
Yeah.
Some in
East West, yeah.
But
Sunset Sound too.
Sunset Sound. Predominant part of this record was done in our kitchen. And the interesting story about it is this. When Roy and I first started to live together, we'd just wake up in the morning. Ori happens to be a fantastic cook.
Oh.
So wake up in the morning, sit down.
Everybody does need an Ori. Perfect cook. She's beautiful. She plays
know.
guitar. What do you do? What's going on here, man?
So we sit down and start playing guitar in the morning and stuff like that. And the kitchen table became like a staple for, and I happen to have a pretty big kitchen. It's kind of cool. Right? And then, or being garage.
Yeah, I wouldn't think the Richie Sambora would have like a little galley kitchen.
No, you can actually walk around into the oven.
Yeah, I'm sure it's bigger than my house.
That's how big the oven is.
So it kind of started there, and then we would put down the demos, and we wrote like 70 songs. We had a very prolific 2-year period.
Well, let me ask you this before we get to that, because obviously you are a musical grouping, but you are also a couple, obviously. Yeah. So what came first? Because did you guys decide to start working together musically first, or did you meet and have a relationship and then say, hey, we're both guitar players, we're both musicians, let's make music together? What was the seed? What started first?
I don't know, it just happened. What was that?
I don't know what that was.
No, I was actually in Hawaii on a vacation. I bring my daughter basically to Hawaii every year, possibly since she's like 2 years old. And Alice Cooper happened to be in Hawaii at that time and found that I was on the island. And he said, they do this annual charity show. Him and
we play it every year. It's like this big charity thing.
Every year they play all the time, right? And he says, would you want to come down and play? Now me, at the time, I'm single, right? I got my daughter, 2 of her girlfriends, and Monica.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
my
that's right.
nanny, right? So it's estrogen party.
You love
you know, when the kids are teens, they don't want nothing to do with their dad. Right? So I'm sitting there like
My
this,
daughter
going,
just turned 13. Trust me, I can't.
know.
Oh, forget about it,
you
man.
know.
Yeah, it's
So
all
I'm sitting
different
there like
world.
this, twiddling my thumbs. You know, when Alice called,
While they're
and said,
looking at a screen,
"Look,
a phone or an iPod.
Right.
No.
You want to play? You want to come down and play
I
the
know,
show? And
forget
I
about
hadn't seen Alice in a while. And Sammy's doing it.
Steven Tyler,
Steven
Michael McDonald.
Tyler,
Yeah, a bunch
Michael
of people.
McDonald. I mean,
This is
great.
the whole Chef Gordon deal? Is that what
Yeah,
this was?
Yeah, it's a
we
whole chef deal.
and we do it every year, and it was so much fun.
And she's done it every year.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hadn't seen Alice for maybe 2 years or something like that, right? And I wrote some hits with him, and I produced some stuff for him. So we were catching up, and I'm looking at the stage. You guys were rehearsing. I was like, "Who's that?"
Who's that strange Australian over there?
Oh, that's Orianthi. You know, she's been playing with me for a couple of years now, and she's played with Michael Jackson. I go, "Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm going, yeah, that's looking good, you know." So, you know, I got to go do my deal, right? No, it's true.
I love how honest he is about it. It's just like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So we get on stage, and the chemistry was just insane.
Yeah, it was straight off the bat.
Musically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
you know, you
presence,
feel
yes.
things the same way.
Yeah.
And
Now, wait.
That
Now,
don't happen often.
Do you obviously knew who he was? Did you
Oh,
know he was
absolutely.
there?
No, because it's funny. You showed up last minute because we were rehearsing, for everybody else, and then Shap's like, Richie's on the island.
You know,
Guys, can you learn, a couple of his songs, and we're going to just jam out. And so, literally, just learned them. You walked in, and then we just ran them with you, and
What did you play? What was the first song you played? What was the musical collaboration?
You know what? I think it was "Lean on Me." I think it was the first song we actually started doing,
Yeah.
if I can remember. Then we went to Foxy Lady, and then we played a bunch of other songs, "Schools Out" together. And
with the Schools Out with Alice, and then with,
Yeah, a bunch
with
of
Dream
stuff.
On with Steven.
Dream
and
On, Walk This
Sammy
Way.
came out with the Rock Candy.
Oh,
Yeah, that was so
great.
cool.
Oh,
So
man,
much fun.
come on.
And Sammy's still. Sammy's a good friend. Sammy is just turned 69, and he still belts out Rock Candy like he did on the
Oh,
record.
yeah.
It's
You know what?
freakish.
You know what?
Freakish.
Is that a nice guy or what?
The best.
He's
the best. And he's so generous. He let me
Yeah.
fly in his plane with them. I mean, he's amazing,
Yeah, he says,
man.
come over, stay at the house in
Yeah,
Cabo,
yeah,
this,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
the other thing.
He found out I was going from Jersey to Boston. He goes, meet me at Teterboro. Get on my plane. I was like, oh, what, really? I mean, amazing guy.
Yeah,
amazing
super
guy.
nice.
And,
Beautiful.
and he does that big party in Cabo for his birthday. And I told him because next year is his 70th, or this year will be his 70th birthday.
Man.
And I said, you're going to need to put a stadium up with all the people that are going to come and
Yeah,
party at that.
absolutely.
So
And the cat is just, he looks the same.
I know, it's
Yeah.
crazy. I know, it's
He looks the
unbelievable.
same, man.
It's great
God bless
energy,
him.
yeah.
It's amazing. So you guys hit it off musically. Then, hey, here's my number. Is that
Yeah,
what it
that's
goes?
kind of how it happened,
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what happened was that I was going to go to Australia and do the download. What's it?
Yeah, well, I got back to LA, then Richie texted me, and he's like, come over and let's hang and jam and hang out.
Yeah,
so
I
went
had
over
all
there
these
and-
festival books in Australia, right, that I was going to play. And so then my rhythm guitar player, David Ryan Harris, great rhythm guitar player, and great guitar player, great singer all the way around, right? His mother fell ill, and he had to go be by her side because she was like deathly ill. And so I said, well, I'm going to go play, I'll just do it by myself. And then I went, hey, wait a minute, I got Ori's number. Let's see if she wants to do it.
Yeah.
And I
That
didn't know if
happened-
she was still working with Alice or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I happened to have a couple of weeks off, actually, from Alice, which was great. And then, so I was able to do it. And then none of
That's
my
how things
shows booked, so it was like a free sort of, month, actually. And so I was like, absolutely, let's go out there and play.
That's right. So
jam
I
out.
call
So,
Ori up, and I
yeah.
go. So I call her up, and I go, "Hey, listen, I got these gigs. My guy fell out. You feel like playing?" She goes like, "Fuck yeah." Yes.
Does that mean yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you can say that on this.
Oh, I can say.
Yeah,
it?
she said,
She
fuck
said,
yeah.
"Fuck yeah."
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, and I was like, fantastic. And then
And let me ask you this before
Things took off for me.
before we go to a break. Musically, guitar playing wise, I mean, you guys both have your own styles. You're both
Yeah.
accomplished players. How did it mesh musically when you guys started? I mean, on the record as well that you have coming out. How do you
Yeah.
divvy up the guitar work? Because did you say, okay, this fits? Is there a lot of trading off? Is there a lot
Yeah.
of taking different solos? How'd you do all that?
There's everything.
There really is. I mean, it's kind of like how we sort of, we just felt it
You want
out.
to play something?
We got a song we could play.
I
You know what?
I have a little remote studio. I don't have any real studio. Otherwise, I couldn't.
All right. Well, you know what?
I would love to.
Guess
though.
what? We will.
Let's do it. When's the record gonna come out?
Pretty soon.
You know what? Who knows what's happening in this music
That's
business?
true,
You know,
too,
it's like
Richie.
you go. You
It's gonna come out on YouTube tomorrow. It's gonna happen.
for sure because we're gonna play it tonight.
Oh, there. You
Well,
play the
I'm
whole
gonna
record?
We're
No,
playing two new
we're gonna
songs
play
tonight.
All right.
I'll play a couple things before we leave.
Yeah, but because it's crazy now, that opens up a whole other can of worms about records and how people deliver them and how people buy them. I mean, it's the Wild West out there. I don't even know anymore. It's
Me
like
neither.
some people keep everything so suppressed, and some people start putting out songs months ahead of time, one a month. I mean, Richie, your old band, Bon Jovi. I mean, I just did something with John for this record in New York. And there was like, the record wasn't out for a month, but they did a show where they played every song from it live. I said to John, I go, you just basically put their whole record out with everybody with their phones. Same thing he said. He goes, I don't know anymore. Who knows? Who knows what's right and wrong?
You know what? I think it depends on how you're going to roll it out, right? So Ori and I have so much material and so many songs. We've covered so many genres on this record. But the thing that happened is that we owned them. We kind of did it ass backwards. It was a really interesting way to go about it because we went on the road first and we got next to each other.
But you built a chemistry.
Yeah,
though.
got our style
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And then, but really, the great thing about the record is that our vocal blend and
Finding that
you know,
sound.
besides being the shredders, and everybody's going to know that that's going to happen.
But you got
There's
a
some
vocal.
shredding in there. Of course,
Yeah,
There's a lot, but there's also
a lot of. It's about the songs.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing what's best for the song.
Yeah,
And
I think
you don't
people are
wanna
going to be very happy.
And direction-wise, musically, because Ori, I know some of your stuff. Richie, outside of Bon Jovi, I mean, I love "Stranger in This Town."
That's my favorite
God,
song.
that album's unbelievable. I was at the release party for that at Tavern on the Green.
Right
I
on,
got
brother.
a whole story about that for you one day, but I could tell you stories forever.
Oh, I'm
You
sure.
probably wouldn't, as you could tell me. But
As you can tell me.
well, let's just say at that time that you put out that record, it was an interesting time for Bon Jovi because the band was very much in flux. Nobody knew what was happening. Of course, you did come back together. Keep the Faith was a great. I love Keep the Faith, but at that point,
Bob Rock.
no, there you go.
Guess who's back?
There you go. There you go.
My brother.
There you go.
We only sold about 65 million records
It's
together.
crazy.
And then how many we sold apart from each other? When you think about Bob, Black Album, Metallica, come on, man.
Oh, I
And
know.
he's such a good guy too. He's like
He's my
really
brother.
great
That's
to work
family.
with.
Oh, I did an interview with Bob about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I had a podcast, and I did it with him, and we talked for about an hour and a half about his whole career.
Oh, yeah.
And
Can you imagine?
And I'll tell you, what's crazy about it? I've had some of the biggest names in music on radio show, podcasts, or whatever. And with a podcast, you can actually see the stats. You can see exactly how many people downloaded and listened to it, right? Bob Rock is among my top 2 or 3 most downloaded, listened to podcasts because
Really?
people just love the stories. They want to
Yeah.
hear all the stories about.
Oh, we got to call him and tell him.
Yeah,
He'll be so happy.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
No, he'll be so happy. I mean, literally, he just left my house this morning at 5
Oh,
o'clock
he was
this
here
morning.
in L.A.
Yeah, no, we were finishing up our stuff.
He's been living with us.
Yes, he's been living at our house. and stuff.
Oh man! Well, what I said about the record is what we should do is I'm based in New York, New Jersey, but when you're ready, whether it's there or here, let's do a whole show about it. Let's take a whole show
That'd
and
be
we'll
freaking
play songs
amazing.
from it.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk
I
about it.
appreciate
We'll
that.
take calls about it. We'll do a whole thing.
Hey,
That'd be
my
freaking awesome.
connection with Sirius is pretty deep.
Yeah. All right. Probably
Yeah.
deeper than mine. They barely know who I am over there.
No, that's not true, Chunk. That's not true.
I'm joking. It used to,
Yeah,
until
really.
until this channel launched, it was like that. But thanks to this channel, that's changed.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. We'll come back. Richie Sambora is here. Orianthi is here as well. We'll try to squeeze in a phone call or two as well. We got about half an hour left to go before we have to wrap up. 844-686-5863, 8446. Volume is the phone number. I want to talk more about this record coming up. I want to talk more about their individual careers as well, and we'll include some of your conversation as well. So hang out. More right after this break here on Trunk Nation.
With Eddie Trunk on Volume, SiriusXM 106.
Having a great time talking with Richie Sambora and Orianthi. They have a record
Trunk
together.
Nation, Sirius on the side. Volume is getting wide on Trunk.
I always loved your voice, Richie. I never knew it was going to be like this, though.
It just
you know?
breaks into song.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's wonderful.
RSO is the name of the band, and the album coming out maybe in an hour, maybe in a month, maybe in a you
never know.
You
We're
never
surprise
know.
you all.
No, it's good, man.
Yeah,
We're very, very happy.
I can't wait to
Very
hear
happy.
it,
I think that people are going to be really excited, and we're going to go out and give people a great show, and you know.
So the idea is to get out on the road a little bit too. You got a lot of touring you're going to line up and play some. Now, Richie, you're used to having playing enormo domes around the globe with Bon Jovi. You as well with the different stuff you've done, Orianthi. But for you, I mean, I imagine the cool thing about this too, you're going to scale it back a little bit. I imagine you're going to be doing theaters and places like that.
What we've done.
Or are you going to want to go out and open for somebody?
No, you know what? We've done that too. What we've done over the past 2 years is, like I said, it's kind of been a little bit ass backwards because we went out and played first. No product. And we got on all these festivals all over the world. And as it worked up,
like Summer Sonic and all of those big
as it worked up, we became second on the bill. You know, so it got to that place that it was like, people were like gravitating towards us, and we didn't even have the new songs out yet. You know, so basically we were playing music from Ori's career, my career, my solo career, a couple of Bon Jovi songs, obviously, that I've written that I was completely fond of because they're probably my ideas or something like that. And then a lot of great covers, blues covers, things like that.
Yeah. Ori, for you as for this situation as a guitar player, most of the stuff you've done in your career is just being you as the main guitar player in the band, right?
Yeah.
So now you're working with Richie and you guys are trading off. For you, is it kind of a cool exploration to kind of see where he's going to go and how you guys are going to play off of each other?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a lot of fun. When we get out there and we just start jamming and working off one another, just get like a back and forth sort of thing, having a conversation. It's freaking great.
It's a musical conversation.
I grew up listening to the blues records, and it was all about jamming, like from Albert King to Stevie Ray, to that sort of thing. And I just love it. We do go off on tangents, sort of playing like Voodoo Child, whatever it is. Kind of just go out there and take people on a journey.
We'll play for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The thing is that when we first went out there, it seemed like the whole improvisation thing, like Jimi Hendrix, is why I got into playing lead guitar.
Yeah, same.
Why I
Absolutely.
wanted to play guitar.
It's a freedom in it,
was, the guys that we grew up with listening to, all our heroes that were playing so emotionally.
Well, Don Airey, who plays in Deep Purple now, was here yesterday, and we were talking about that. He's been in Deep Purple, replaced John Lord for the last 10 years. And I said to him, I said, when you got the gig, I said, did John Lord, because John Lord was still alive at the time he got the gig. Yeah. I said, did John give you some tips? Because John was just retiring at that time. He said, yeah, he did. He goes, but Deep Purple's whole career is so much about when you get on stage live, going different directions and exploration and improving. He goes, they wanted to encourage that. So there's only so much John could tell me, because he goes, Ian Pace on the drums might be doing something crazy, and all of a sudden you're going to have to
go with him.
You got to fly. Yeah.
You got to be flexible. You know what? That's the thing. Here's the thing that the great thing about when people come to see us play is that, first of all, they're going to definitely see all that improv, but they're going to get great songs, right? They're going to get what they want, but we're going to take them in a little bit of a different direction, and it's been been really going great. So, and then I think when people hear the new record, I think they're going to be very happy with it.
Or for you, there's I meant to ask you this because for a long time, because obviously there is the people, you were on every single TV screen for like a month for tragic reasons. But the clip, for whatever reason, and I don't know if you know why this happened, but the clip when Michael Jackson passed away, that must have been serviced and cleared to every news outlet in the world, was him from the film walking over to you, as you know, and the two of you guys kind of vibing off each other. So at the most tragic news across the globe, it's not something you wished for, but it
definitely not.
But it prominently featured you, and because do you know why that one clip was used everywhere like it was?
I have no idea, and honestly, it was such a crazy time when that happened, working with Michael, and because I was making my record with Interscope, and I didn't tell them I got a call to come in because Michael would watch my YouTube videos. And you look at what we're looking for. Come in, learn, beat it, do Diana. Want to be starting something next morning. Go in, play for him. Hired us all, and we just started rehearsing. So I didn't tell anybody because I couldn't. Because we signed these forms. And it was just 4 months of craziness. And then so when he passed, it was such a shock. And then that clip started running, and I couldn't turn on the TV without it being on it, you know. And it was
it was on a loop
yeah,
on
and
every channel, and it was just
kind
that
of weird,
isolated
like,
clip.
it was very odd to see.
It's almost
that,
like the
but
Trump inauguration.
It was like
It's probably bigger news.
but yeah, it was just it definitely was kind of a strange moment in my life, and you know, then going out and then putting out my album and that happening and not having a moment for it to sink in, you know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a crazy time, but honestly, I feel very blessed I got to spend time with him, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get to spend a lot of time with him? Did you get to work directly with him a lot?
Yeah,
or was it one of
absolutely.
those things where there was a musical director and they gave you, or was he very hands-on in the
He
things
was hands-on with
looking for?
everybody.
He
Yeah,
was.
Yeah, absolutely. With the dancers, he would spend time with me, my sound, how he wanted it, how he wanted me to walk over to him and be very mobile. Like, so playing the beat it, so I could even look at my guitar. You know, I had to follow him because he's like running across the stage. And he's like, run over here, run over here. I'm like in hills. I'm like, okay. So, you know, that was interesting. But the whole thing was such a show, you know. It made me a better, you know, show person. So yeah, I guess he really brought out the best in everybody, and yeah, that was the great thing about working
It
with
is
him.
such
Yeah.
an insane show.
Really talented.
I saw him
Incredible.
in Japan for the first time, going back many years now.
Yeah.
And he just blew me away.
He was, by all accounts, I've talked to a number of people too. He actually was a big rock fan as well. I forget who I was talking to recently. They were telling me that he would contact him and talk about. He was very much into the production of rock shows. You know, the big rock show, whatever it may have been, the big stadium rock.
Sure,
Did
he wanted
he ever
the
come?
events.
Did he ever come or connect with Bon Jovi shows back in the day?
Yeah, you know what? It was the day before. We were playing 2 nights in the Tokyo Dome, and he played the night before. So Frank DeLeo at that point was managing me too, who's Michael's manager at the time. And so, you know, we get invited to the show, and I go see the show, and I was like, are you kidding me? To be able to dance like that and sing like that and command all those people and then turn on 80,000 people in front of you.
Yeah.
I was very moved by his performance, you know.
Yeah.
So then I got back to the hotel. We were staying in the same hotel. So Frank said, come on up and sit down and talk to Michael. And
Oh, so you met with him?
yeah. We actually, so I asked him if he wanted to come out and, you know, jam with us at the Tokyo Dome the next night, the same place that I just saw him at. Because we were doing 2 nights the next night. And that's not his thing. You know, he needs it all.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist for sure.
He's
We
like,
rehearsed
that's not
like
my thing. That's not my thing. I just don't do that. Thank you. I said, I'm like, you know, of the Jersey guy, I said, Michael, come out, have a slice of pizza and a beer.
no.
Learn anything you want to learn. No, but it was true. And he was very, very sweet.
Oh,
And he
he's
said,
very sweet.
You know,
Yeah.
that evening, he said, you know, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Right? And the next day, I get a call. Say, I can't do it, you know. But he was very, very sweet about it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, as a performer and a showman, my Lord. I mean, Prince was like that, too, you know?
His dancing
there was a lot
so
of
precise. And
dance,
the first song we played was
I
Billie
like to
Jean.
dance a little bit, you know. But
Yeah.
The first song you played with Michael Jackson
was
was
Billie Jean. So, you know, Jonathan Moffat goes into that beat, which is like perfect, right? So he's, you know, going away. And then,
I'm Moffat, I'm
then
going, baby.
Michael comes over to me and he just starts dancing in front of me. I'm going, is this reality? Like, you know, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
gotta
that
be
must have-
surreal.
okay.
Yeah.
That must have,
I'm like,
that
okay,
must have freaked
this
you
is
out.
just a normal day for me, you know,
that must
not.
have freaked you out.
So that was crazy, but yeah, he was wonderful to work with. I mean, seriously, like it would have been an incredible show, and he was really funny
look
too.
At that, you know,
A lot of people don't know that he was actually.
you go,
Yeah,
"Jeez,
it was really funny
he was
too.
in shape, it looked like to me. I mean, I really
Yeah.
thought that that was going to go on.
Yeah.
We had a lot of funny moments. Like he would get stuck in different things, like especially this huge tarantula that came out at the beginning of Thriller, and it was controlled by him. So he was in the tarantula, covered in Swarovski crystals. It was very extravagant. So this thing comes out, and he couldn't get out. So the intro to
Spinal Tap.
it's complete Spinal Tap. So the intro to the
Always
Thriller.
happens.
Intro to Thriller goes on for like 3 minutes, and he's not coming out. And everyone's going, well, maybe he just wants to make it longer. And he's like, hi, guys. I'm kind of stuck in here. Can someone help me?
like stuck in
Like
the
I'm
pod.
kind of stuck in. That was really funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, okay. It's
I
like
gotta-
things coming around.
I got to jump to one more break here. We'll come back. We'll have a few more minutes left to wrap up. Richie Sambora and Orianthi are here. The band and album coming is called RSO. If you happen to be in Southern California, I know people listening all over America and Canada, but if you're in Southern California at the NAMM show, are you playing inside or is it out? I mean,
It's a main stage. I don't know where that's
so you have to be
located.
able. So it's actually not open to the public. So I shouldn't tell people to come because to get into NAMM, you have to have a badge.
Yeah,
So.
you've got a badge.
But there'll be plenty of shows coming. It sounds
We
like.
don't need no stinking badges.
Just come in.
Storm the gates.
come
It's
in.
Richie and Ori. Storm
Drive
the gates.
through the cones.
If you
Exactly.
love us, storm the cones.
Just go through.
We'll come right back a few more minutes, and we'll try to work in a call. But I'm too busy yapping, so we'll see if we can get 1 or 2 calls in as well. Truck Nation coming back with Richie and Ori right after this.
Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk. On Volume, SiriusXM 106. Did you? That's Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk. On Volume, SiriusXM 106.
All right, we got a few more minutes left to go before we have to wrap up the show and wrap up with Richie and Ori. We're talking off the air about the challenges of navigating social media today and making sure we don't put people's phone numbers out to the public.
I have.
I haven't yet.
Truck and I both have put our numbers out to the public because we're actually prostitutes.
Richie messed up Slash's number, put it out there to 200. Or no,
not
Slash
Slash.
put out you put out your number to
Slash
250,000
actually,
people.
he said, "Where are you? I need to get hold of you." Tweeted me, and I thought it was a private tweet. And I sent my note. I thought I was privately tweeting.
You thought he was-
You press the send to the world button.
250,000 people got, and then my phone blew up, and then
Oh my
I had to
gosh.
get a new phone, but I still have it.
So listen, before we run out of time and wrap up, I got to ask you, Richie, the obvious question. Everybody would love to know and see and think and see, is there any scenario in you that would ever like to go back to Bon Jovi world?
You never know.
You seem really happy with what you're doing right now. But
yeah.
you know, I talked to you a few years ago at the Golden Gods here in L.A. when I was hosting it.
Yeah, right.
I talked to you briefly, and it was just at the time, and I asked you a question. You said something really interesting to me. You said, you know what? The big machine of that right now is just not where my head is at.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kind of do my thing. I want to kind of do, and which is clearly what you're doing right now. So.
You know, it's a new beginning. You
Yeah.
know, it's like a new beginning. I mean, just think about it. All right, now you're in this band for 31 years. Okay, now the extensive touring schedule and everything that Bon Jovi really, really had. I mean, every tour from Slip Around was 16 and a half months at least. The last tour I did with the band was 52 countries, 18 and a half months.
A couple of them almost broke you. I mean, it's not you personally, but the band. I mean, it almost drove
when
it
you come
apart.
home, guess what? People have died, they've gotten divorced, they've moved away from you. Life changes
Yeah.
when you come back. And, hey, I got a daughter that I love severely, and she loves me. And you know what? At that point in time, it just, the guys wanted to continue to whatever they were doing. And I was like, hey, I got to, do some family stuff and do some stuff. So, there was just other things that were happening. And actually, I think that the band needed a break to come up with a whole new thing because it was a kind of a run-on sentence for a long time, And then between that, obviously, I was doing besides writing the songs for Bon Jovi, co-producing the records, doing all that stuff, and being there all the time, I didn't really have another life. And then when I wasn't doing that, I would go home and write solo records and go out and do that.
Right.
So it was like I just needed to go. At 31 years is a pretty good time.
No, and listen, it's an amazing what you did, and as a fan of the band since, again, being a Jersey guy, I literally had the APP record, with Runaway. You weren't even on that song, I know, but, from day one. I remember the shoots at the Boardwalk at Seaside on 7800. I was at the Roseland for the Boardwalk thing for the New Jersey release. I lived all that stuff as a fan and even working in the business back then as well. So listen, if it is done for you, I mean, what an incredible, insane legacy of the songs you wrote and what you did. But at the same token, it's got to feel, with all respect to Phil X, who's there now, who I know and is doing a fine job, it's got to feel a little bit weird. It does for me as a fan. I interviewed John for this record, and you could tell it's the first record without you. You know, it's the first.
No, it's the second.
Well, kind of first real new top to bottom record, though. Right. So, I mean, how did it feel for you? I mean, is it you comfortable with it? Are you disconnected from it?
I'm completely comfortable with it. You know what? It's been like over 3 years. I mean, Ori and I have been together for 3 years now. So, you know, and then there's probably a 6-month period of time before I even met her that, you know, it's there's a fair amount of distance there, you know, right now, and it's not feeling weird at all, actually.
But it's not out of the realm of possibility that somewhere, sometime down the line, the possibility of Richie jumping up, even for, even like you wanted Michael Jackson to jump up with you. That, hey, you're in the Tokyo Dome, I'm going to jump up and I'll be there for you. And sing for old time's sake.
You never say never in the words of, you can't say never. But, you know what? It's also up to the guys and see how they feel.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Right, it's really kind of that thing, and, you know, I'm sure that some philanthropic event or something might bring us together at one point or whatever. I don't know. Right now, no, I'm not interested. And I we're having such a good time. We're having such a blast.
You look like you're having a miserable time from the minute you walked in.
I know. It's horrible, isn't it?
Seriously, man, I'm glad. It's great to see you both smiling and having so much fun.
We've been having a lot of fun.
Making music together, doing all this great stuff. And I can't wait to hear the record. You know, they give me the sign. I got to wrap up in a second. But I can't wait to hear the record, and I wish you all the luck with it. And when you're ready to put it out, however you decide to put it out, you know, let's do a whole thing.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
You know what? I would have played it right. I would have gave you a song right.
Yeah, we got it. We got it ready right here.
Play it for
I got it ready for you.
We'll play it for you off the air.
Yeah, because I'm in like a remote setting. I don't have my usual equipment.
Yeah,
but
I honestly, you know what? Sirius has been such good friends to us for such a long time. Scott is a dear, dear friend of mine.
Okay.
And everybody, Eric, everybody out there, man.
Problem with Left Glass is he's a Cowboys fan. That's my problem with Left Glass. He and I go round and round with that as a Giants fan, man.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Well, of course.
He's the devil. As far as I'm gonna. Hey, they're out. I was almost as happy that they're out as when the Giants, win.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
You know, that's what we were doing between like recording at the house. And that's what we do. We tour, we record, and we eat.
There you go.
Ori happens to be an amazing cook.
You said that.
And it's the kitchen is, the studio
I'm just
is
like
in the
always
kitchen.
cooking.
So
that music means I got to end, unfortunately.
We're not fact.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
John.
I'll be live again tomorrow, you guys, 2 o'clock Eastern. One more day from Southern California. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks to Ori. Thanks to Richie. Thanks to Jay Weinberg. Thanks to Evan and Alex and Eric and everybody back at the studio. Have a good one.
Chuck,